12-Point Audio presents The War Magician, written by David Fisher and read by Alex Jennings. The outbreak of the 1939 war, foretelling inevitable misery to everyone, meant different things to different people. To me, it involved something very strange and rather alarming. The focusing of my whole imagination and knowledge on the problem of how best to mobilize the world of magic against Hitler. Jasper Maskelyne. Introduction. During the 16th century, it is said, a stocky English farmer named John Maskelyne served the Cheltenham district as Justice of the Peace. He was called one day to preside at the trial of a stranger, a small, twisted, black man who had appeared mysteriously in the district, clad in an unusual black silk suit. Called by the name Drummer of Tedworth, he stood accused of the practice of black magic. The evidence given against him was such that John Maskelyne declared him guilty of witchcraft and banished him to the American plantations. Soon thereafter, great misfortune befell the Maskelyne farm. Crops inexplicably failed. Cattle became bloated and died. A barn fire destroyed the sparse corn harvest. And at night, on the darkest eaves, a little black man was seen limping about the fields. Suddenly, however, the farm once more blossomed. Crops grew high and straight in the fields. The cattle were fat with milk. During a local famine, the Maskelyne barn alone burst with corn, and soon the farmers' pockets clinked with gold coins. So the tale was told throughout the land that Farmer John Maskelyne had purchased, at the price of his mortal soul, the powers of black magic for himself and 10 generations of his descendants. Through the years that followed, the Maskelyne family did indeed seem to possess extraordinary powers. The line is ripe with scientists, magicians, and men of standing. Neville Maskelyne, of the 3rd generation, served as royal astronomer in the court of King George III. He was the first to measure time to tenths of a second, to figure the weight of the earth, and he made great discoveries about the movement of stars in the heavens. About Peter Maskelyne, the 5th generation, it was said he practiced alchemy. Upon his death, his notebooks were burned in a public bonfire, and the flames were supposedly many and unusual colours. In the 8th generation came John Neville Maskelyne, a remarkable inventor and the man considered to be the father of modern magic. He created the famed box trick, in which 2 people seemingly change places in an instant, learned to fly from the stage to a perch on a crystal chandelier, and was able to cause full-bodied spirits to materialize from his own body and converse. He founded the elite magicians' organization, the Magic Circle, and presented the first edition of Maskelyne's Magical Mysteries at London's famed Egyptian Theatre. He also perfected the standard typewriter keyboard and invented Psycho, the marvel of the 1870s, a mechanical man that played flawless whist. The 10th generation was Jasper Maskelyne, the war magician. To him would fall the greatest challenge of all, to pit the powers of magic against the most evil foe in history. And at the end of the titanic battle, he would have added the strangest and most significant page to the family legend. Chapter 1. Spring, 1940. Jasper Maskelyne was drinking a glass of razor blades when the war began. It was an old trick, first made popular by his grandfather, the legendary John Neville Maskelyne, and often performed by his father, Neville Maskelyne, but it always delighted the audience. As he began withdrawing from his mouth the 6 sharp blades, conveniently knotted to a cotton string like tiny steel sheets on a clothesline, he first noticed the young army captain moving anxiously down the centre aisle. He was careful not to stare at the officer, lest he divert attention to him, but still...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?